Okay, so where are we at? We left off with we have a site. So where, if you are just joining, I started out with an idea. I wanted to show a full vibe code from start to production, and so far I started with an idea in ChatGPT and refining the idea. I put that into Cursor. I laid out some security features. I linked in a database, and now I have a baseline. And so what our next goal is to start iterating. So that's where we're at, is that we just opened npm run dev for the first time, and saw what inbox echo looks like, and now it is time to refine. So that's where we got to actually try it now. But not bad, right? From all of the prompt, not bad at all. Okay, let's try sign in. So let's sign up. Yes, they do. Mm, okay, so something's not working. Um, so I do have these. I'm trying to create an account. Actually, yeah, this is where we've done a lot in this chat, so I'm gonna create a new chat so we don't get overloaded. So I always paste in the error immediately. It's there. The ENV local file is, it's not in Git ignore, it's above Git ignore. Then maybe it just didn't pick it up when we created the account. So now I open up this is what the console is saying. Okay, it's saying doing a hard refresh. Same error. Same error on the UI. This is the console. These are interesting. I don't know what these are. So this is debugging. This is literally what the debugging process is I am basically trying to take an action in the browser and it's not working. So I go to what's called the console, which is right here. And I look at what the errors are, and then I will sometimes it'll tell me to look at a specific place in the console, and I don't really know where all those things are. So first you open it with like FN, the like F12 or something like that. I don't know what it is on Windows. But I look here and I hit like the clear console if I'm going to start over because it makes life a little bit easier. And sometimes it'll tell you to go to network to see what API calls are made, but mainly like console. Also, it'll tell you to look at the server logs, and that's what's in the terminal here. So what it'll tell you to look at the console errors or look at the server errors. And I always just straight copy and paste. So I say, this is what it's showing. And it kind of walks me through what's next. And if I don't understand what it is or what it means, then I say, okay, explain this to me like I'm 5 and I have no technical background. And it makes it really clear of what it's looking for and why. Okay, so it's saying try it again. So I'm going to stop the server. That's the Control C, and I'm going to start it again. I do a lot of that, npm run dev. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to come here and yes, it's fine. Yes, it does, you crazy person. So it's saying that it's missing these. But they're in the ENV local. I know they are. Okay, so it's having me copy over just the names. Your HTTPS dot / your project dot supabase dot co. Yes. Anonymous key. Yes. Service role key. Yes. Yes, they are. I know they are. Okay, we're going to copy this again. And we're going to make sure that that is right. We are going to anonymous key. There. We're going to save. We are going to dev. And we're going to try again. What's this? Because that's driving me bonkers. Hey, check your email for a confirmation link. I don't know what it was. Okay, it worked. Okay, on this one, this is where I want to make sure it's clear it's coming from Supabase and not from the inbox echo. It worked. Whoa, not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Okay, we are in. And now we go to our Gmail. And we confirm. Ha ha, we're in. Excellent, it worked. Here is our dashboard. So it shows our email that we're logged in as. We see inbox echo. We see 0 used out of our 10 limit, 0 echoes created, echoes viewed. Unlock more tones in history. No echoes yet. Create your first echo. Yeah! Look at that. That's awesome. Okay, let's test it. Let's go here. I have to sign back in. I need to get a sample email. I do get some of these, not very many, but I do get some. Let's go to my spam. Create an echo link. Paste the outreach message. Professional, sassy, or they aren't getting the hint. Create the echo. Copy. Thank you for reaching out. I'm not interested at this time. More information can be found here. Okay, we got to make this better. It's got to be like a roasting. But there we go. It worked. Okay, so what I want is, okay, great. It worked. We're in. Okay. So what we need to do is that we need to create, or when a user creates an echo, they need to see the echo. They need to see what they're going to send. And then they can copy the link that basically displays that in the browser for the person, for the sender who's going to click the link. But they need to see it. And we need to make the output better. Right now, the numbers, they don't know what it means. There is no explanation for each one. So we need to keep those short and sweet. We're not trying to be educational. These echoes are supposed to be like a roasting, right? Like a professional roasting or a sassy roasting, or you're not getting the hint, leave me alone type of roasting. So we need to make them fun. Like this is supposed to be like if I am the receiver, it's like, oh shit, I need to leave this person alone. But if I'm the sender, like there's motivation for me to send this because I'm getting entertainment and humor out of, oh, you're gonna get this and you're gonna read it. So I think we need to modify our OpenAI call. Getting kind of passionate about this. Okay, while that runs, let's look at what is in the database. So we go to our tables and our table editor here, and you can see that in our tables, we have users. So this is my user. Okay, they're on a free plan. And they have a monthly echo limit, whatnot. So you can see this. So you can see all of this, which is great. Then the message fingerprints. We need to figure out how it's using this because it didn't save anything with the fingerprint. And then here, this is the echo that it made. So let's make sure it did this. Say, hey there, Rochelle sitting in 5K. Name. Okay, so it did not find a name, a company, or it did not find a name and a company. So we need to work on the redaction. Um, hardly used any tokens, which is great. What is the message? So, what things I need to ask? The new roasty vibe. This is gonna be great. Okay, let's go back. And okay, before we do that, what is the message fingerprints table for? On Supabase, so what is the message fingerprints table for? Oh, Supabase. Whoop. When someone submits a message to inbox echo scoring, a fingerprint gets stored. Okay, it didn't save anything when I made that echo. Okay, so this is where you got to keep AI on its toes, right? Like it didn't do anything, but we want to make it through. So would you like me to implement the fingerprint functionality? It would involve create a fingerprint generalization, storing the fingerprints when echoes are created, aiming at clearing similar things. So we are already storing the redacted text, the message redacted. So on the echo table, we are already storing the message redacted. Is that what you're trying to label as the message fingerprints? And then when a new echo is made, it's just comparing to all of those? And if so, do we need a new table for that? Or can we just compare to the other echoes or the message redacted column on the echoes table? Oh, so a fingerprint is pulling out phrases. Okay, I think what you're trying to say is a fingerprint is pulling out phrases. So I think what we should do, and tell me if you think differently, let's discuss it before acting, is that on the echo table, we add a column that is an array or a list of fingerprints within the input messages. So examples would be like, hey there, or want to look, or uh, schedule a call, or got 15 minutes, or something like that. So it's these small phrases. And so each echo would have a fingerprints that would have multiple. Then those fingerprints, which each have their own row on the message fingerprints table, and they would have a count of how many times they've been used. So every time we pull out a fingerprint of the input text, we increase the count on the message fingerprints, so we know how common it is. And do like a fuzzy match. So it says, do you have 15 minutes or got 15 minutes? Those would count as the same. Was that what you're thinking? Do we use existing phrase list in scoring as the fingerprints or dynamic extraction? So one dynamic extraction, two is fuzzy matching. How do we normalize strip filler words? I don't know. All default to you. Three. For the fingerprints array on Echo, store UID references or store normalized phrase strings? Also don't know. Okay. So this is where like we talked about it, right? We figured out what is it looking for, why is it looking for it, how is it going to do it? That's ultimately what the goal is there. Um, so looks good. Let's implement. Hi, Pickles. Pickles is my dog. He's real cute. We like him a lot. No, Pickles. Okay, to apply the migration, we run Supabase. Oh, that's not gonna work. If it ever looks like that, it doesn't look right. There we go. I wish you guys could see my dog right now. He's literally just staring at me like right here. Like he's just right here. Really wants attention. He really wants to say hi. But it's really cold outside. We just went outside and it's really, really cold. Okay, so where are we at? We just did a database push. So now on echoes, we have the fingerprint IDs, and then now we have message fingerprints. So what we have those. So we'll see kind of what that looks like. Now we had updated the API call. So let's see what that is like. Let's start the server again. Actually, let's make sure it is shut down and run again. So I come here and I refresh my dashboard. Okay, so I want to create an echo. Corporate Savage, Unhinged Bestie, and they still aren't getting it. That's funny. Okay. See, I told you I don't get very many of these. I need like a good one. Let's see what this one does. This is a really long one. Unhinged Bestie. Create echo. Going. Mm, Floating. Very slowly. This message is like a buffet of cliches. Everyone's had a taste, but nobody's hungry for seconds. The multiple soft ass, bold mood, my friend. Spoiler alert, it's still a no from the universe. Noise is one similar. No reply is needed. Thanks for your novel, but I think I'll pass to check out this echo for some clarity. Okay, that's kind of funny. Okay. I want the echo to be more of like a dashboard of like um hmm what do I want? I don't really know what I want. So the echo should be red. The stop should be okay. So this is where if I'm just getting into UI changes, like right now, you can see the model that I'm on is Opus 4.5. That's a really good one for building out stuff. But if I'm just making like UI changes, I will change it to auto because I don't want to waste a bunch of tokens. It's not really worth it. So I will just switch it to auto. So if I go here, and okay, the response is funny. Like it's actually pretty good. I don't mind that. That's funny. Um, that's it. That's pretty good. Uh, uh, touche, my friend. Okay, so we need a couple of things. Here's what I want to do next. I can't really think. What do I want to do? I need the text more readable. Oh, sorry. So this is where I take screenshots and I show things. I want the text to be more readable. This text font is kind of hard to read. Oh, sorry. It's not recording. Shit. Hold on. Stop. Stop. I want the font to be more readable. This font that was in that image that I sent is kind of hard to read when you have a lot of it. Can we choose a font that is more readable? Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, this is kind of our look. I'm going to go here. We are making this. This is the look of the site. I need a logo. I need an on-brand logo for Inbox Echo. Something along the lines of the stop sign, red-ish theme. Make an image for me. Okay. So that's ChatGPT, so I'm gonna have it make my logo. So we replace the font, which is good. I want the echo to be more playful. The number, oh, sorry, voice. I want the echo to be more playful, where we have the numbers. Could we do some sort of graph or imagery with it, or like showing this is where you land versus average, and explaining what those numbers are, and make it more clear of, no, really, we don't want you to respond. I'm also thinking the stop sign needs to have like a hand of like stop, like no more. Okay, what did it come up with? Said it was done. It's not done. It lied. Okay, so noise score visualization, context man, echo count. Reply is needed. Direct explanation. This is feedback, not a confirmation starter. Okay, let's see what it looks like. So here, I'm going to go back to my database. And let's look at how the redaction did. Nope, it did not pull out the name. Okay, so I need here, and I need to go back to Opus. And the redaction of the input text is not very good. It's leaving in company names and usernames, like first names, We need that completely redacted. So what do we need to do to make that more strict so we don't leave in user data? We don't want to keep that. I'll be back. I need to zap my arm. You guys ever used a chirp? Like the zappy stuff? I think they're pretty great. Mm. You see my arm twitching. This is why. Okay, so we got cleaner version on this, which is good. Let's go here. What is ChatGPT doing? Come on, man. Which inbox do you like more? I actually like this one, but I want it to match the color scheme. Um, Dang it. Um, okay, I'm good with that. It may over redact stuff, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. Um, okay, so let's go here and let's test the real sassy one. Let's see how this one works. Create an echo. And then let's just paste the same one. And let's go. They still aren't getting it. Create. These are entertaining. I like these. Congratulations, you've crafted the cold reach equivalent of elevator music. Multiple stop ask, bold choice. But here's the tip. If I wanted to hear that many complaints, I'd just call my mom. Ah. Okay, that's funny. I like my mom though. My mom's great. Uh, I think it didn't make this any better though. I think I have to restart the server. So I'm going to restart the server. And what I'm going to do is that this is where you trick. So you can see here how it redacted this. So this is way more redacted, which is really good. It didn't need to redact all of that. So looking at it, but that's okay. I would rather redact than not redact. So let's look at our token usage. So the longer emails use longer tokens, that's okay. let's look at our fingerprints. Clean system, need real, feel free, no. Answer now. Few months. Yeah, I don't think these are really working. I don't think the fingerprints are working the way they think they are. The way they think it should be. I don't think the fingerprints are working the way they should be. Like that literally. Okay, let's go over here. I don't think the fingerprints are working the way that they should be. It's just not, it's pulling out like one word, like different. That's not really gonna help. So I think sorry if you can hear my dogs playing in the background. Oh, pause. Okay. Sorry. What? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Sometimes it tries to think too fast, and I don't want it to think too fast. What if we include, so we're sending the redacted text to OpenAI, and that's what is creating the echo. So what if we ask OpenAI to pull out the fingerprint phrases and make it more specific that it should be like 3 to 5 word phrases? And then we take that output and we compare it against the existing list of fingerprints. Would that make more sense? So I'm going to delete these. I'm going to select all. This is page, there's 484 of these. So we're going to change this to 1,000 rows and we're going to delete all of them. That's a really smart idea. OpenAI already understands the context and the meaning of the message, blah, 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 blah. No shit. Okay, cool. I don't think we tell it to extract 3 to 5 short phrases. I think we tell it to extract any short phrases that would qualify as a fingerprint that are 3 to 5 words each, that would be templatized. I think that's what we have it do, and then we pull those back into the fingerprint array. Okay, cool. Now let's restart the server. And let's go here. So one other thing you do is you can do this and you can set this to false and to false. That way you can reuse them. That way you can reset your thing. Benefits of having the backend. So if I create echo and I go here and let's do corporate savage first. Okay, this message feels like corporate deja vu. Same boilerplate complaint, same banned solutions. You've taken mass email to an art form that even Picasso would avoid. Let's face it, you're just another face in the crowded inbox, and trust me, nobody's lining up for your limited time offer. That's funny. Okay, it didn't give like the images though that we thought. Oh, hold on. Copy this. Okay, so this did update images here. Your noise score. So this message felt like a corporate mass email. Higher scores mean your message sounds like dozens of others. Lower scores suggest it caught something, suggest something unique might have caught our attention. Similar messages. It's just math. Messages sounds like they blend together. This is why yours didn't sound out. We don't have any data, so it's gonna sound like this. No reply is needed. Seriously, this isn't a conversation starter. This is feedback why your message didn't get a response. Take the hint. No follow-up. No, did you see this? No more messages. Okay. I want to change the logo. Okay, can we update? It's still just the echo feels bland. The echo, like even the preview and the actual web page. The web page is better, but it still just feels bland. It's like blah. What can we do to make it more enticing or like a user interactive? I feel like the content is good, but it's just kind of blah. I'm not seeing the typewriter effect. Okay, we'll see how dramatic this makes it. Oh. It's also not picking up that I viewed the echoes. Echo text created at, viewed at. Okay, let's see what the fingerprints were. Commit long-term, no pressure, meet schedule, automatical capture lead follow-up, limited time offer. These seem odd. So it's doing better, but these seem a bit odd. So we gotta figure that out. Can I view an echo? Let me see if the link, let's go here. And Created that reply text token. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Stripe and I'm going to go home. No, where am I going to go? I'm going to go to product catalog. I'm going to go to coupons. Remember if you were on the last video when I said I mess up Stripe? This is me messing up Stripe. I put in the wrong API key and so it's going to mess up. I'm going to go through the console. I'm going to figure out why. It's a whole thing. But I'm just going to fast forward through it because it's troubleshooting with the console, but it's also me just being dumb. If I would have done Stripe the right way the first time, I wouldn't have had this issue. How much you want to bet this is going to be a pain in my ass? How much you want to bet? Hey, looky there. We got it. Thank goodness. So you put a bunch of information in here. There is test cards that you can use. Since this is a test account. Hey, it finally worked. Jesus. That was a pain. It didn't update me though. My tier still says free. So it said success, but then it didn't upgrade me. My tier says free. Ah, sorry. I keep forgetting. So it said success, but it didn't upgrade me. My tier still says free on the user. So it's saying run it in a new terminal. I don't know. Okay. Hey, now look, it worked. Hey, it worked. Did we get everything we needed? Whoops. Hey, it worked. Did we get everything we needed? Okay, let's check the tier and let's make sure the tier upgraded. Main event. Tier upgraded. Monthly echo limit is 500. Yay, it did work. It did update. The tier did update. Ooh. Okay. So let's go here. Now let's look at what an upgrade link is. So professional. Um, Copy link. Let's take a look at what the link looks like now. Inbox echo. This message is like a buffet of cleaning. Everyone's had a taste, but nobody's hungry for seconds. Muffles haven't. Noise score. You're not special. The T. Okay, I like the T. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, the echoes look better now, for sure. Okay, let's go to auto again. Remember when I do UI stuff, I'm on auto. Much better. The echoes look awesome now. Let's do a couple UI changes. Can we stick with the red theme instead of the purple? I don't like the bouncing emojis. Let's stop with that. And um, on the echo and the similar messages, can we put a little eye icon, like a tooltip that explains how we calculate it? Like what it is and what it means. And then let's get rid of the share verdict, like share this verdict or copy link. Let's get rid of that. And the powered by inbox echo, let's put our logo, which I will add to the public folder. Okay. So I'm going to download this and I'm going to go to, I don't have a public folder yet. Just going to go to downloads and put this over here. Here's the logo. I'm going to take it and I'm going to drag it over. This is the image logo that I like, but it's not the right color. Can you change the color and make it the right color red to match? And use the little red icon as the browser icon and across the app and the whole logo across the app. I'm gonna make that one Opus actually. Can you tell I'm a fan of Opus? Okay, what did it do? Red theme instead of purple. Change the sassy tone. Add icon. Looking at your logo, the hexagon with the envelope and the echo waves, the current color appears to be pinkish red to match. We should use the burgundy. There we go. There we go. I like it. These are kind of hard to read. Take the L and move on. Okay, so we need to tell it that you can't really read these and they need to be shorter. We don't want to give away our secrets. Pickles, go lay down, my dear. Go lay down. Just lay on the couch. It's like, Mom, come lay down with me. Okay, it's not reading when we get when someone clicks on, not counting a view when someone clicks on the thing. Okay, the logo is not showing at the bottom. Where is the public file? Still not there. Still not there. Logo. I don't see a public file. Where is the public? The public file is empty on my view. No. Okay, so going back to the terminal and okay, so at this point, it's late at night here. I've been working on a Friday night, and I really wanted to record all of the steps of a vibe code, and I'm realizing I didn't. I paused here. I probably took the dogs outside or had a long phone call, and then I forgot to record again. But the only thing that you missed is initializing GitHub. And what I did on the initializing GitHub is basically GitHub is a online repository where you hold your code, or that's where kind of your main source of truth of your code is. And then you can work on it locally on your computer and you can make changes to it. And then you can push those changes into GitHub, and that's where your code stays. And then you can make changes, then you can push those changes and whatnot. And the benefit of GitHub is that you don't end up losing your code. You don't end up, if a file corrupts or something happens, like you have this remote cloud database, not database, but you have this remote cloud repository of your code. Okay, that's the point of a repository like GitHub. Now, with GitHub, you can interact with it through a CLI, just like you saw me do with Supabase. And there are commands for GitHub. I don't know the commands still. I still make Cursor do my commands because GitHub confuses the shit out of me. But basically, you have the remote GitHub, and that's your repository, and then you have your local GitHub, and you can think about that you're going to want them to mirror each other. You're going to make changes, and then you're going to push those up top. You can push them into branches, So think of branches like features that you may want to work on, or you'll push them into main, which ends up being your published code out into the world. But think about this, when you end up working on a team, one of the benefits of GitHub is that you can work on branches where they don't overlap. So what my best thought on this of how to explain it is that think about if you were back in high school, right? It was a while ago. Go with me. If you were back in high school and you were working on a team project where you had to write a paper together. So you have a group of 3 people and you're writing a paper. One of you is going to do the introduction, one of you is going to do the body, one of you is going to do the conclusion. One of you got fucked in that, sorry. But one's going to do the intro, one's going to do the body, one's going to do the conclusion. If you are working on a Google Doc and someone starts in the intro, someone's working on the body, someone's working on the conclusion, you can work on that simultaneously. Okay, that's kind of how GitHub works, is where you have your remote repo, and then you can pull down and you could work on your branch for your intro, work on your branch for your body, work on your branch for your conclusion. Then you can push those back up to your remote, and then you can merge them all into the main, kind of the trunk of the tree. And then all of your code is all condensed again. And so then you have your paper to turn in. Now, if they conflict, so let's say the intro person got a little wonky and they started writing the beginning of the body. Well, now we have conflicting beginning of the body. We got the body person, we got the intro person that went wild. Well, then we're going to have to resolve conflict because we have conflicting code at that point. So GitHub is going to help you recognize when there's conflicting code, and say, hey, which one's the accurate one? Which one are we keeping? And that's one of the benefits of GitHub. So hopefully that helps you understand GitHub a bit better. You basically have your repository, you push everything to GitHub, and then GitHub is where you store it. Okay, and you are going to do that by committing and pushing to GitHub. Committing is like save, and then pushing is like, hey, go back to the main branch. That is how I think of it. So that is GitHub, and that finishes out the first night of this build, and then we come back in the morning and we keep going.